Hi, friends. Welcome back. I am so glad to see you. I see Virginia and Susan already popping into the chat. So, hello. We are going to hang out tonight. You can see I am in full denial that it is like 87 degrees outside at 8:30 at night here on the East Coast. Terrible. Um, so I had the air conditioner blasting in the window and I have on my hoodie and I'm gonna pretend that it is fall. Um, and you can come join me in my denial for a while. So we are going to be working on a really fun card that is going to be technically fall, but you could switch up the colors and really use it for year round. I see Anita, Annette, Maria, Sarah, Julissa checking in from Jersey. I'm sure it's hot there too, in my neighboring state. So yeah, I'm just really excited to, we're gonna foil, we're gonna Copic color. I decided that we're gonna color two images, but only one we're gonna use tonight. The other one I'm going to turn into a card for my blog post tomorrow because I was traveling this weekend and so I'm a little behind. Um, so if you want to see how that card turns out, you can check it out on the Pink and Main blog tomorrow. It's listed in the description here. I see Heather checking in, Barbara, she's from Oklahoma and she's ready for fall. You and me both, Barbara. All right, there we go. All right, so we've already used this stamp set once before, the Thanks a Latte stamp set that Pink and Main did with Mommy Lay. She was live last night. Loved it. So I wanted to use some images that we didn't use. So the last time I think we stamped the to-go cup and this florally leafy mug. So tonight we're going to be using the other to-go cup and the little girl. And I already stamped out my sentiment in construction ink, the For You Friend. So we're going to pair that up with the little girl, I think, and I'll be using the other image for my card for tomorrow. Oh, Denise said it's her first time watching. Welcome, Denise. I'm glad to have you. So yeah, we have those, but that's like one layer of coffee just isn't enough layers of coffee for me. So I grabbed the mugs foilables, and there's two different designs in here. You get the coffee mug and you get the to-go cup. And how cute are those? I'm in love with, I mean, both of these, but especially the to-go cups. So I am thinking I'm going to use the one of the to-go cups, and then we're going to use the reverse image with one of our fall ombre panels that we've been playing with a little bit recently. And that way I'll get two backgrounds. This one that'll be more white space I'll use in my blog post with the to-go cup image, right? Are you seeing my vision? And then the one with the ombre and like way more warm tones going on, we'll use with our little girl. We'll make that tonight. And I don't know if I'll be using them, if they'll be needed, but I also grabbed the new branches die set in case we need like a little sprig behind one of the cups or something. We'll see. I have like a scrap of wildflower cardstock. I have a whole pack of Pebble here just in case. When in doubt, Pebble cardstock for the win for me pretty much all the time. So let me go ahead and get my Mink plugged in. Let's move all this over. Oh, and I have the bronze foil tonight. That's what we're playing with, bronze foil. Let me get my Mink plugged in here so you can see. I love showing you guys how fast this thing heats up. So it'll beep and turn green when it's ready. We're gonna prep our foil. We need our, not you, not you, we need you. We're gonna prep our foil in our panel. So I'm going to trim my foil down so it is just slightly bigger than my foilable. That's extra. Let's tuck that up there. Hey, Mary checking in. I see my dad checking in. Julianne's here. What a good crowd tonight, guys. All right. So I am wiping down my foilable panel with my microfiber cloth to get rid of any dust. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back side of my foil because any little dust splotches will affect how the foil adheres to the toner, in that it won't adhere to the toner. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of tape to either end, trying to make sure this stays nice and flat. Okay, and I have my wax paper here for when it's ready. There we go. And she turned green. Let me wipe off my ombre. I saw somebody asking questions about this on Facebook too. So these toner sheets, the ombre toner sheets, we also have solid color toner sheets. These are thinner than cardstock, a thicker paper than like printer paper, right? They're like a heavier weight than that. They have like a good snap to them. And they are white paper that has a color toner printed all the way across so that it looks like a solid or an ombre color. But this whole thing is toner. And so that's what allows us to use the negative of our foil so that anything that is on that foil will adhere to that toner. And anywhere where there's not foil, because we already used it, just stays the color. But people on Facebook earlier seemed to, there was some confusion over whether it was like a cardstock and what kind of weight it was. So if anybody has questions like that, you guys know you can always ask here. And if I don't know, I will find you an answer. We put the pretty side of the cups facing up and the pretty side of our foil facing up. That's how the stack works for this heat transfer foil, as opposed to the kind that you use with the dies, like a die hot plate foil. Connie made it. Hi, Connie. I'm glad that you did make it. All right, so we're letting our little foilable work its way through. We're going to set it aside to dry. Oh no. We got wrinkles this time, guys. I really got to figure out what's going on. I'm going to try before peeling it to send it through the other way in case we can flatten out any of those, but I just know that I don't have faith that that's going to work because it hasn't any other time that we've tried. And thus is the joy of live crafting, where who knows what's going to happen. You know, we'll make it work no matter what. And I still have more foil. If we have to run it through with a new panel, we can. Or I can always change up my plans as far as using the negative. Julianne, I don't prefer using the wax paper for my carrier sheet. I just I lost the other one and I cannot find it. I cannot find it. So the next time I place a Pink and Main order, I will get some new proper carrier sheets. But until then, I just have to use what I have. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, maybe it didn't wrinkle. Guys, I don't think it wrinkled. I think it was, I mean, maybe like a little bit. I mean, there's definitely some spots, right? Like you can see on the foil how like these cups are connected, right? Like it wrinkled there. there's like a line through the bottom of those. But I think that this is still usable. I think it's way more than good enough. I think when I use that, you'll still be able to tell that they're coffee cups. And I think this layer still turned out really nice. Right? That's the tricky part, Barbara. I feel like on the white version, it's even harder to tell where it's wrinkled because like the colors, the images are still crisp either way. Sometimes it's on the reverse one that it gets tricky. And the hard part is like, that's the one that I want to use with you guys tonight. So it'll be all right. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty. It's different, but it's really pretty. And I will probably, because this is like the brown on brown and you can't see it anyway, we'll probably put our image like more on this side and let the yellow peeking out kind of be the star. I think that will be just fine. It's so funny. Sometimes, right, it doesn't wrinkle at all. Sometimes it feels like the foil doesn't like me. That's just life. Okay, so we're going to put that through with our toner sheet up, pretty side up, and our foil pretty side up again as well. And for anybody that didn't get to see the fall ombre foilables the last time we used them, it comes with 4 different colorways. So you get orange to green, you get red to purple, you get purple to teal, and then the brown to gold that we're using today. So I love those. I think they're so beautiful. There's other options on the website too. I've been loving the fall ombre. See, and that got like no wrinkles. I mean, it has like 2 tiny, tiny, tiny ones. So let me peel the tape off so we can get hopefully a satisfying foil peel. Oh, Julian said maybe a shim, maybe next time. I'll try to remember to try that and see if it helps. I'd assume we need it on the bottom because I'd be worried on the top it might affect the heat, although I don't know if it'll matter or if we're using a shim, if maybe we need to turn the heat up 1 setting. I don't know. All right, let's see. Of course, that wrinkle is like right through the middle. Right, you guys can see there's like a gap right there and 2 little gaps right there. I still like it. We're still going to use it, but it's definitely not flawless, which again is just crazy because sometimes it really is flawless. Sometimes it works out so perfect. But you can see we still got to use pretty much all of the foil. Yep, Barbara, don't worry. We're going to cover it up. We're going to make it work. That's what we do. All right, so we have our panel. Let me unplug my make. This one I'm going to use for my blog post card tomorrow. This one we're going to pair up with the little girl and the for you friend, which maybe we'll like stack them or do like a little trickery to cover that up. Plus I have those branches that we can cut too. So I think we'll be okay. Let's get some coloring done. Let me turn to the side a little. Okay. That's true. Sarah said we could cut it up so we can use it for some different pieces as well. That is very true. But I just like the ombre. I mean, I guess we could cut like across and make it almost like a band. That's interesting. That could be cool. Instead of using it as like a solid panel, cut it up and use it as some pieces. I'm open to that. All right. Let's get this cup colored. My drink is blocking my marker access. All right, I'm going to start by coloring up the to-go cup. And I'm going to go in with my W3 markers, or my W markers, starting out with the 3. I'm going to add a shadow to either side, not touching the outer edge of the image. And then just kind of flicking color over to widen that up. That was W3. I'm going to jump to W1. Pull that color more towards the middle. Just like that. And then we'll go in with some W00 to blend those edges out. That. Now to switch it up, I'm going to do the lids in a cool gray. I'm going to outline this outer kind of lip to it and add a little shadow to the middle of the actual lid. I'm going to go in with my C0 to blend that out because I want it to look more white than gray. So I'm going to leave the rest of that space empty, leave it white. Right, so that's where we're at so far. Okay. This one's going on my white background, so we can add in a little more color. I think it needs like a maroon heart. So let's bring in some R89. And I'm going to leave these out because we can play with some red in her outfit. There we go. R39. And then R29. I really need to clean these markers. Just like that. Set those to the side. And I want to make a little nod to my go-to coffee treat of choice. So we're going to add some green to this label on the cup, and I'm lining up this outer edge with the same place I put that shadow line on the cup itself. So that way this just looks like an image printed on the cup, like they're one cohesive item. That was YG99. I'm going to jump to YG97 to blend that out a little bit. And then we'll go YG95 right through the center and then along that outer edge. That. Let's pull in a little of that W1 we used earlier, just to kind of like give a little color to this circle inner logo. And my 00 to blend that out again. Okay. And this cutest little acorn. So stinking cute. Let's go 30s. Let's go E39 for the cat. And then as my darkest shade. So I'm gonna just kind of add it to one side, almost creating like a really soft C shape. I'm gonna jump up to 35. Because in my opinion, 37 and 39 are pretty close. They're not going to give us much difference for that like one area that we're coloring in. And then the lightest is going to be the 33. There he is. It's so cute. And he needs little eye highlights. That'll help him stand out a little bit. Give heart a little highlight. There he is. All right, so if you want to see what happens with that cup, you're going to have to check out the blog tomorrow or my Instagram, both of which are linked in the description of wherever you're watching right now. So for the little girl, I want to color in her skin tone first before we do any reds. So I'm going to go in with my E04. We're going to add some shadows to her ears on the outside of the face and under her bangs, right on the top of her nose. A little bit to her eyelids, I guess. And then we'll give her hands instead of mittens, but you could do either way. We're going to go in with E13. So she's not going to be super tan, but she's going to have a little more color on the spectrum of skin tone options. Just kind of overlapping everywhere that E04 was, and then just widening that up. Then we'll jump to E11. Fill in her ears. Connect her forehead to her eyes. But I'm going to leave the very center of the face a little open. And we're going to bring in one lighter shade, my E00. Little tiny circles. I'm not scrubbing. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, but the little circles will help everything to kind of blend together. And we can give her a little bit of like a cold rosy flush by just kind of swiping in some color on her cheeks right underneath her eyes. And blend that out with that E00. Hey, Janice. Thanks for checking in. Connie says she's feeling the coffee cups. Me too. Right, Julianne? Doesn't she just have like the cutest little peaceful expression? That's me. That's the level I'm trying to be on. Me and my pumpkin spice while it's 97 degrees outside. Absolutely unreasonable. I feel like this happens every year though. We get that like one last super gross attempt at summer, and then it finally caves. The weather finally gives in. I'm using the same red combination that we used on our heart earlier, going R89, R39 to R29. I promise I'm going to clean my markers when this is over before I put them away. I'm not even going to put them back on the shelf. Just like that. I see Krista checking in. Shani, I think we said it was Shani. I think it's Shani. Shani, I'm pretty sure it's Shani. Is checking in from Vegas. Oh, Janice is a peppermint mocha girl. I understand that too. I love a festive drink. It doesn't really matter what holiday. Let's give her, let's tie in these like orange and golden colors for her scarf and her mug. So I think we'll go, let's go a little more golden on her scarf. I mean, I guess this technically bridges both. I'm coming in with my YR16, really emphasizing that fold, that crease in her scarf and the tails of her scarf. We're going to jump up one to YR15. Oh, she looks like me. Yeah, we're probably going to end up making her look like me. I have a feeling she's going to be brunette with just all of these really rich colors going on. Although in theory, I might only be a brunette for a little bit longer. I have some crazy like dark cherry looking hair dyes in the kitchen on the table right now. I usually end up doing some kind of red or purple something to my hair every fall. So it's just really like, how long am I trying to wait is the real question. I think we're going to use the same combination for the mug because I'm really liking how this is working with the sentiment. Krista said she's a pumpkin spice girl. Me too. I feel ya. Charlene, I promise that the type of coloring like this is not hard. It definitely can take some practice, but hopefully if you want to color, you pick up some tips hanging out with us because I love coloring. And some of the other ladies who've been hanging out with us have said they've definitely been able to use some of the tips that I've shared to enjoy the coloring process a little bit more. All right, so there's her little coffee cup. Little, it's like huge, right? She's basically walking around with a soup bowl of coffee. My kind of girl. So I'm gonna go in with E29 and add, you know what, let's just do one color. I'm over it. I probably should have warned you guys earlier. I have a headache today. So that's where I'm at. Let's just stick with 20s for her hair. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. Or if that was to Charlene, I agree. I bet she is good at coloring. So I'm going to flick in some color from the bottom using these artist drawn lines, the kind of V's that are in her hair, as a starting point to start pulling that color up from the base. And this is something you can do to practice too, is like the flicks and the kind of technique that you're looking for, just even on the side of your paper. I hold my marker, you want to kind of hold it down, and then without picking my hand up, I'm just kind of lifting pen off the paper. So that way you get that natural kind of taper to your pen stroke. And those are little things you can do while you're watching TV, kind of as a warm up even before you start coloring. But I find that practicing with those kinds of flicking motions has really helped me to feel more confident when I'm coloring. So I like to do those same kind of flicks from the base, and then I like to do them as well from the back. And that's what kind of helps you get that highlight look in between, that like higher shine. Amy Young calls it like shampoo commercial shine hair, right? Like those crazy Herbal Essence commercials from back in the day. I remember thinking that those were like extremely scandalous. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so that was E29. We're going to go in with some E27 and just kind of start connecting some of those flicks anywhere that's like right around the base of her scarf where there would naturally be more shadow. We can just kind of fill in. Oh yeah, Julian, practicing is like absolutely makes a huge difference. Just kind of getting the hang of the pressure and not being afraid to manipulate your paper too. Spin it around however you need. Your paper is not glued down yet. All right. And then E25. Hey, Danny, I'm glad that you made it. We're going to fill in all of this area at the bottom. But on the top, I think I want to keep some of that shine. So we're not going to fill it in completely. I'm going to just kind of do some like sweeping motions. I don't want a lot of high shine right at the bottom where her bangs are kind of like tucking under because it doesn't make sense. But some of this like right through the middle can stay just a little bit white and it'll give that really pretty high shine look. Like that. You can also, if you get carried away, you can also go in with a white gel pen, but it doesn't look the same as if you can kind of control your ink and keep some of that paper white space. It reads differently. All right, so let's get these guys cut out. Okay. We have our little girl. We have our cocoa cup with our heart. And we have our sentiment, which is like one of my favorite things about this die set or this stamp set is when the sentiments have coordinating dies. Also, I know that this isn't everyone's cup of coffee / tea, but I did see for any Stamp-tember, Simon Says Stamp-tember people out there. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it yet. I can't give any spoilers, but I did see that Pink and Main was on the list of collaborators that Simon Says Stamp posted for Stamp-tember. So just throwing it out there. I'm very excited to see what Michelle has been up to. It's super top secret, even from the design team for a while, but knowing Michelle, it's going to be great. The one last year was absolutely adorable. The little snowman, marshmallow snowman. They're like in, um, I think they were like ice skating, and one was like in a mug. So, so we have our sentiment, have our little girl. We have our coffee mug there, or coffee cup I'm going to set to the side. Use that later. Because believe it or not, when I finish my lives, most of the time I just, pick up the next craft project and keep working, even after I log off with you guys. Yeah, Julianne said she got the Marshmallow Snowman last year. I'm glad to hear. I know, September is like a love it or hate it thing, it seems like in our community, but I just love when, different companies all get to come together to share the spotlight on something, and it's not about just one company. The fact that it's like Simon Says Stamp celebrating so many different companies of different sizes. I like it. Right? Janice said she loves the way that the sentiment cuts out so close to the letters. I love it. And you saw, I wasn't like painstakingly getting it lined up. They line up so easily, and you get such a perfect cut with these. Absolutely love them. All right. Well, now I was really going to do this whole thing, but now I think it was Julianne has me thinking maybe we'll just make like a cool band out of this, and we can like add her like and the sentiment and have it just be like a fun band, or like maybe two stripes. Like a little graphic-y. No, I don't know. We're just making this up as we go along. You guys know that part at least. That's not news. Let's trim down some pebble. Thanks, Danny. I know it can be, September can be really frustrating for some people. Um, and as many of you can guess, I don't make many Stamptember purchases because there's not a lot of Halloween. It's so many Christmas cards, and I love Christmas, but I can only make so many Christmas cards. I'll make Halloween cards and fall cards all year round, but I just don't, my brain does not speak to Christmas in the same way. So I forgot that these were trimmed down a little bit. I think we need one more bit. We'll do like a little stacking situation like that, maybe. This is the part that I would normally edit out if this was a YouTube video, but it's not. That's kind of cute. And then maybe like some little gems or something. I like that. It's different. It's very different than what I normally do, but I like it. And we can definitely foam it up. And you guys know how I feel about when we can add foam tape. So let's get some of this cut. Krista, I think, yeah, I'm gonna pop up these like patterned panels. I'm not sure. I think I'll just let the sentiment and the stamped image kind of rest right on top. Oh, good. You guys are checking in, chiming in, saying that you like the little mini panels, mini bands. Me too. This is the first time I've ever made a card like this, but it's fun to try something new. It's good to push ourselves at least a little bit out of our comfort zone sometimes, you know? That. Now, the main reason I keep trying to put this up, something up here, is because there's like a little tiny wrinkle there. And I think it looks kind of weird for them to be side by side. So maybe like that, and we can add in like a couple little gems or something to kind of create that diagonal. I think that's really cute. So let's get our easy squeeze glue. Kind of add it to the top and the bottom there. Same with her, just kind of adding it to the top and the bottom. Let me grab my trusty warm jelly gems. Oh, Sarah suggested it. Thank you, Sarah. Sorry if I think I said the wrong person, but I appreciate you. All right, I'm thinking these like slightly warmer or these orangey ones. Orange is way too orange. So got one there. We can like even tuck one under her scarf. Up there. I guess we're gonna do 5. I do like to keep them like odd numbers whenever possible. I think that looks pretty cute. I don't know. I don't know where that one's gonna go yet. We'll place that one last. All right. There is our super fun foiled fall coffee for you friend card. And it was an interesting road to get here, but here we are. I have my other image set aside to use for my card on the blog post tomorrow. I don't have anything planned ahead of time as of right now for Thursday. So if anybody has any requests or suggestions or questions, you can always leave them in the comments of wherever you're watching, and I will take a look tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. So anybody who's watching this in replay, you guys always get a vote too. So let me know if there's anything specific you want to see on Thursday. Shout out to Sarah for encouraging me to try something different and cut this foiled panel up. Yeah, I'm just so glad you guys came to hang out. I know this one went a little longer, so I appreciate your patience with me. I hope that you guys have a great night. If you are in a hot area, I hope you get some relief overnight. Stick with it, hold tight, and hopefully by next week we'll be in true fall weather. Fingers crossed. But yeah, otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you guys have a great night. And until then, happy crafting, guys.